Okay, it's going.
Welcome to Dark Heresy, Felonies and Faith. Session 31, 32, 33. I've lost track. Last session, we basically took a breather from, the more ruling aspects and spent some time in the PDF outpost getting ducks in a row. We were introduced to the unabashedly stern Captain Bedsom, and she gave her plans for utilizing the vehicles. Or at the very least, if it wasn't her plan, it was, somebody else's plan that she fully supports, because she sounded quite certain about it. But that includes 7 Hellhounds, 1 Lehman Russ, and 6 Hydra, which are essentially going to blitz the escarpment as an attempt to distract the enemy armor while simultaneously laying waste to all the enemies that they come across. At the same time that your team takes the Valkyrie and flies around outside of range of the Hydra and comes in for a quick approach on the tower to start you all off and deploy you. Whether or not you want to keep the Valkyrie on the landing pad, assuming there is a landing pad, or have it circle the block is still kind of up in the air. Excuse the pun. The other Lehman Russ, which Krios named Gladys, spelled M-A-T-T, has also been provided to the PDF and Imperial Guard forces to aid them in their impending assault. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe it was 2 Hydra to the east with 2 Hellhounds, with the remaining armor heading down the south pass between the Lister High and the Masquerade. And there is, I think it was 1,750 PDF and 1,000 Imperial Guard divided up into platoons of 50. Each of the vehicles has 1 Imperial Guard platoon, which includes the operators and a couple of tech priests. A couple of tech priests grand total. There isn't a couple of tech priests per platoon, just to make sure that that's clear. And then there are PDF troops that have been trained in detection and removal of landmines who will accompany each vehicle in groups of hundreds, 2 platoons. It's quite a large offensive for a backwater city, but the Inquisition asked for help, and the Lord General is interested in providing, apparently. The only exception to that was the Lehman Russ. However, now that Krios has provided them a second Lehman Russ, they are going to be dividing the platoons that were assigned to the 1 Lehman Russ and throwing them into the other. So it will literally be 100 PDF to 50 Imperial Guard per vehicle. There is 1 addition. There is 250 of each of them, 5 platoons of 50, that are at your disposal. And I believe it was the general consensus that they operate as the rear guard, basically protecting the rear flank of the advances. Have I missed anything as far as that's concerned?
Only that we're not going to take off, or at least go anywhere within range of the Hydras until the attacking forces have confirmed the Hydras are either distracted enough or destroyed.
And that's sort of up to you as a party, whether or not, you want to initiate your flight at what point during the offensive.
That'd be my idea. Anyone else?
Well,
Sorry, go ahead, Bob.
Okay, well, I would agree with that 100%. The last flag fire we take, the better, considering they shot a freaking hover car out of the air from a great distance away back at the Lister block.
To be fair, that was a lucky shot, but as far as you guys are concerned, yeah, exactly.
As players, we know that. As characters, we're just like, holy shit, those are well-trained crews.
Indeed. All right, and I'm just trying to remember. Lynn isn't doing so well, but she's at least on the recovery now. She's on the mend. She had contracted some kind of fever that put her in a coma and also severely hindered her capacity to do intelligent reasoning and thought. However, at this time, she is getting back to her previous level of intellect, little bit by bit, over the hours. It appears Scout is online. Just see. Just seeing if she's ready to come back into the game. But as we wait for that, there is also the decision of Sergeant Grace Steyer wanting to accompany you. I believe Krios wasn't too keen on that, but general consensus was we'll take her anyway. And she has a team. She has 8 members you can choose from, but you can only fit 5 in your transport. Unless you want to risk being over full in the transport, which might cause other consequences.
Is that 5 others? 5 others including Grace?
Let me just retally the numbers here. We've got 7 of you, which would be 8 if Scout returns. So, yeah, that would be, you're right. So it's only 4 of them, isn't it? Because my math is...
Well, we're having the guy pilot, and I'm getting the navigational seat up front. I'm not actually sitting in the back.
Oh, you're right. You're right. So yes, it would be. That's what I forgot about.
Honestly, I think if we take Grace, we don't need the sergeant. We should take 2 gunners.
Or as Jess is saying, you can't cram them in there like sardines.
I'd rather not take any more risks than we're already taking just by going into the stupid tower.
But the thing is, will these guys listen to Sergeant Grace Steyer or not? Will they listen to the other sergeant?
Well, do you want to do a little role play where she introduces you to her team?
I don't know. I'm just thinking here out loud.
I mean, that's a good point, but I would like to think that they would listen to their commanding officer.
And what makes you think that the sergeant isn't capable like the other gunners?
Nothing. We just don't need more leaders than are necessary. I could see that causing problems.
And sorry, if those people who came up with names for the characters could just paste them into map tools, I seem to have lost track of where they all went. But, yeah, it helps if I actually open up the character sheets, too. Jeez. So behind today, I'm sorry. Okay, there hasn't been any response from Scout yet, so I guess we'll just have to proceed. Assuming Ariane is still busy out on her own front. But, okay, Max Ness is the medic. And I'm pretty sure the demolitionist and the flamer both had names. I don't think anybody else had come up with anything yet, right?
Correct.
Okay, so demolitionist, Valerie Pastire.
Sure.
What, did I mispronounce it?
No, it's good.
Alrighty. And people just start throwing out some names so I can just paste them onto the other people's. Software is so freaking inconsistent sometimes. Sometimes it throws a space in, sometimes it doesn't. Arg. All right, I think one more name. No, I'm not using Harry Chesterfield. We'll use the box there. Yes, I'm using Frank Frankenson, but not Cherry Hesterfield. So Cherry Hesterfield. Actually, that would be an interesting name for one of the females, but it's too late now. All right, so now they've all got names. Hurrah. So would any of you actually accept the, Miss Steyer at this point, because her rank is sort of a question. Would you come meet her motley crew?
I would.
If we're going to have them hold the landing zone, we might as well meet the people who are going to be holding our back.
So yeah, go ahead and just trade your tokens over those of you who are cooperating. Poor Krios is left alone. Well, there he goes.
I guess I'll join the party.
I don't know why you two are down there. All right, so the sergeant will come into the barracks where, the crew are basically taking their downtime at the moment. And she'll call them by the bigger squad's too classic. I've got to come up with a new name there. Stiletto Squad. Yeah, we'll call them that. And basically, they all kind of jump to attention, but they aren't looking like the most overly disciplined group. Sergeant walks up and down the rank, and they all kind of look at her. One of them, who has the emblem of sergeant on his uniform, nods to her, saying, "It's good to see you again, Grace." Or she's going to call you field commander. She's like, "Nah, it's fine, actually. You probably all heard that we're about to go attack that tower," Grace says. The others look kind of anxious, nodding their head, kind of getting geared up. She says, "Well, this group over here," she points to you lot, "are the ones that are doing a special operation that, we can't get into the details here in the barracks, but basically they're going to choose a few of you to accompany us, and we're doing a rescue operation at the same time that a major offensive is going to be deployed against the renegades." And they all just sort of turn their heads to look at you. And I'm going to say it's one of the gunners, Aaron Hammerlock, not that any of you know his name yet, going to speak to Grace, saying, "What's going on exactly?" She says, "I just said, we're going on a rescue op." And most of the team give her a look like, really? She sighs, and she's like, look, this is secret ops, black ops, all right, guys? I said you guys are the best, and I mean it. So act like the best here, because we've got a very special mission. And so at that, they'll all stand much more erect, more military-like, and while still at ease, you can tell that they're in the more disciplined posture. She'll come back around to you guys, and we'll basically introduce them in counterclockwise order. Frederica Medlin, she's great with a flamer. Lyko Vanderhold, the scout, very quiet. Demolitionist Valerie Astire, she likes, she doesn't just like the explosions, she's got a brain up there, so she's not just one of those dumb boom jockeys. Gunner Annexes Dangle. Fuck you with your crazy names, people. Thank you for providing them, but sometimes they're difficult to pronounce. Gunner Aaron Hammerlock. So, what?
I was just about to say that I took a name that was easy to pronounce just because you hate pronouncing hard names.
Thank you. Medic Macness. There you are, Frosty. Sergeant Frank Frankenson. And Gunner Pathius Ryland. So are you guys just going to go with Frosty's suggestion that we had received earlier? Or are you guys going with the Bobob's suggestion of drop the sergeant and take an extra gunner?
Well, can I ask Sergeant a question, or is that out of line?
You're the ones who get to choose this mission, so it's more of a question, does anyone else in the team think Tyrion asking questions would be out of line?
Potentially, but saying that right now is probably a bit too late.
Just go ahead and ask your question.
I just want to ask the sergeant how good of a shot he is. Because I want to take somebody who's going to shoot potential enemies that...
Out of character, how many soldiers do you know you're going to say, actually, ma'am, I can't hit the inside of a barn? You're asking a guy whose job it is to shoot people how good he is at shooting people.
Fine.
Question is, what you're expecting to get what kind of answer are you expecting?
Yeah.
So,
well, I was
tell you what, he will respond in the affirmative, but you get to roll scrutiny to see just how much you trust his affirmative.
I should impersonate the right character, though.
Not a 99, but do you want to... Oh, right. Fate points are restored. Do you want to use your fate point this early in the game?
No, absolutely not. This is just wanting more information. Whether or not you can tell if it's true.
No Slanesh. It would have been great if she started to get a crush on him, but oh well. And yeah, just before I further on in that, still no word from Scout, so Ariane is where Ariane is. Krios, you have your 2 fate points. Kiri, you have your 1 fate point. Haley didn't use any fate. Alexandra, you were restored with a 3. Vern, full fate. And Lynn, Lynn's been resting. All right, Jess, I'll be restoring Lynn to full fate and full wounds, but she is still not quite all there mentally. And Shelby didn't use any fate anyway. Okay. And so yes, he answers in the affirmative. You get the impression that he's a soldier, and like any soldier, he knows how to shoot things. You can't really tell if he's, being modest, boastful. It's hard to read.
Well, fine. She won't do anything else.
Do they
She'll kind of just throw up her hands. Whatever you guys decide with, I'm going to go along with it. And she's going to walk a bit away or hide herself behind Shelby.
Do they currently...
Was that a Bobo?
Yeah, go on, Bobo.
Do they currently have the gear on them?
For the most part, no. A few of them are basically in their skivvies, a few of them are in their uniforms, and some of them are in half-dress. Although the medic, for whatever reason, is still wearing his flak armor. And the demolitionist likes to have her helmet on, even while, not in any sort of situation where she's at risk of being shot in the head.
On an out-of-character point, it might be better to have the extra gunner from a gaming point of view, but realistically, these are people who are trained to follow that person. They're not trained to follow Steyer.
They are, actually, though. This was her team before she was promoted.
Oh, I take it all back. I'll shut my whole mouth.
Sorry, yeah, I guess I didn't make that terribly clear. This is Steyer's team. She was promoted to field commander when the previous, combat commander was killed. And basically, Frank Frankington was promoted to sergeant in her stead.
So what are we waiting to do here?
Who are you taking? Are you taking them all?
And the Valkyrie has 12 seats, you say, and there's 7 of us.
Yeah.
We can fit 5 of them.
Because Bobob's character is actually also going to be in the co-pilot seat. So, including Steyer, you get an additional 5 of these 8.
All right, well then. I'll relay these facts. Do we have any volunteers?
Yeah, everyone except the scout is going to say, hell yes. The scout will just raise his hand.
Does everyone
Right,
ignore
now-
Shelby?
Sorry, what was that, Jess?
Does everyone ignore Shelby?
Well, she's not talking to Vern. So.
Not like we can hear Shelby when she talks.
Well, I guess...
Ouch, that was hurtful, Bobo.
Grace kind of gets anxious for a moment and says, did someone say something about 10 members?
Yes. Shelby here is a psycho. She likes to ask inappropriate questions. I will glare at Shelby.
Yes, well, our team did have 10. We don't anymore.
As I was saying, everyone, I'm sure you know how many people a Valkyrie can carry. Taking seats, we can afford to take 5 of you along with our team. If the rest of you would like to climb in and grab onto whatever you can, you are welcome to do so. In all honesty, I can probably happily stand. I have the equipment to do so.
It would be an honor, says the present sergeant, and asks, when do we leave?
Current plan is to wait for the enemy air support, or anti-air, sorry, to be destroyed or at least distracted, then we will fly in.
And do we have an ETA in regards to that?
When's the attack starting? Out of character, of course.
As soon as they get deployed, it's probably another hour and a half out at sea.
Well then, so it's an hour and a half. Sorry, until all the tanks until all the reinforcements arrive.
Yes.
Reinforcements arrive within 2 hours. We expect the attack will start very soon. After that, get combat ready and be ready to go in no fewer than 3 hours.
No problem at all, sir. He gives you a salute.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We are going into one hell of a place here, but if we'll keep our wits about us, I'm sure we can come out of it in at least one piece, maybe two. That is a joke.
Yes, roll charm, Krios.
If I could, I would pre-fate this, because dear God, this is where I want Krios to actually make people like him.
Technically, you can pre-fate.
Fuck it, then I'm going to pre-fate it.
Okay. Yeah,
Vern will say to...
sorry?
Go on.
Okay,
I'd like to know if there's a pass for fail before someone else does something.
Yeah, that will be exactly what you needed for a pass with the pre-fate.
Fuck.
So there will be some kind of quiet guffaws and chuckles out of the soldiers.
Vern will say to Krios, I don't know if you've ever been departed. Body parts have been parted from you with a force, but I don't recommend it. I want to get out of there in one piece rather than two.
I confess, any parts of me that had been removed, I removed myself.
That's why I used words departed with force.
You have to use force to remove parts of your spine. I'm sure you actually wouldn't know, but it's not a terribly pleasant. Don't worry, Vern, I get your point.
No, Styre will step forward again and say, will you guys be needing me for anything else, or can I assist my team in getting ready?
Get ready with your men.
Thank you.
Everybody gear up.
Okay. Was there anything else you guys wanted to roleplay or interact with prior to the events actually launching the attack?
I have an out-of-character question.
What's that?
I have an out-of-character question.
What is it?
Oh. Sorry. So my armor gives me bonuses to my stealth. In the environmental suit, do I get those bonuses, or am I screwed out of them?
Basically, the environmental suits are going to be top-of-the-line, skin-tight whatevers. I'll say you'll be able to put your regular armor over top of these environmental suits. They're kind of like still suits from Doom.
Okay. So basically they're skin-tight enough to fit underneath armor is what you're telling me.
Yes.
Okay. Good to know. VT just wants to...
Yeah, she's been restrained at this point. Remember, she was causing trouble earlier. They sedated her. Well, sedated, she was put in straps.
What
the hell is that?
My bad.
They're going to keep knocking her out anytime she wakes up then if she starts getting shouty.
Especially about that stuff. Not shouty, just the Mandy. Well, either way, she's getting knocked out.
Basically, she's not going to listen to Lynn. It's going to have to come from one of the other mentally stable members of the team if Lynn is to be released.
So does that cross out Vern?
I suppose M would be entitled to a scrutiny roll to try and determine just how off your rocker you are. But Vern hasn't heard any voices in a while, so not like that obvious tells there. So, was there any other plans prior to a little fast forwarding?
Not that I need to do.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah, well, pretty much everyone on this base has been using gas masks. Basically, because the current conflict zone calls for it, they are dealing with dead bodies on a daily basis. So this group, at the very least, was equipped with that much.
Will there be some prayer time if I hunt down Haley? Because that would be one thing Tyrion would want on it.
Joe?
Well, then she will, as they leave the room, ask Haley if they can go and pray somewhere.
Okay, Joe. Speaking of which, I hope my fan's not causing too much noise issues for the rest of you. You turn it down another notch.
It sounds a little staticky, but there's no, like, muffling.
Okay. And I'm not sure if that static's coming from me, because I hear the static too.
Then never mind.
Or do you actually think it's coming from you?
So you guys are letting Haley and Tyrion pray in private? Nobody else wants to get on that prayer action?
I'm trying to remember exactly how bad of a situation Alex recognizes this as.
People have dropped enough hints that Alex is aware that that tower represents a major threat, not just to your lives or not just to your souls, but the entirety of the Imperium.
Okay, then she would go to Haley to ask for a favor.
Wouldn't Talia?
I'm waiting to hear what Bob's doing.
I was gonna ask to not only sit on these prayers, but ask if I can have Haley bless the Flamer and the Promethean tanks for it. That is possible. Okay.
I know Trios isn't one for prayer. What about Vern? Oh, he is? Okay, you put it in text. Go ahead and move your token then. So while they're all praying, what's Krios up to?
Probably making sure his gear is all up to scratch, making sure Las Cannon is all good, his gear is all good.
You'd probably also make sure the tank you brought, Gladys, is getting into the right hands.
Yes, actually, that's a good point, thank you. Making sure the captain knows that the other Liman Russ is actually here and ready to be used.
Oh, wow. Well, you guys did step out into the hallway, Joe, so they're getting ready. And there is, a shrine in this outpost. It is standard Imperial issue to have a shrine at any sort of building. Normal tech priest, yes. Krios isn't a normal tech priest, though, Bob. All right. So Haley also invited their team to join in prayer, but Haley started to leave the room. So just give me a basic fellowship roll, Haley, to see if they're going to follow you out of the barracks to pray. Okay. Huzzah, we'll all go to the shrine together. And Krios is utterly alone.
Fine. Pray to your fucking gods. God, see if I care. I got better shit to do. I'll make my own god of blackjack and hookers. In fact, forget the god.
Shut up, baby. I know it.
So whenever you're ready, you can do an Imperial Creed roll. It's your best roll. Not critical fail or anything, though, so not going to cause negative repercussions, other than these people think you're shit at prayer. So using a fate point, I'll deduct that. And that's a much more impressive prayer there, Haley. Much so because you got a plus 30 from your reroll. And you basically bolstered the emotional fortitude of all these soldiers. Yep, it'll help them out. I'm just not going to give you a specific definition at this time because I don't want to spoil anything. But yes, your prayers do aid them in a game term. So yeah, are you guys going to do anything else after the group prayer?
Well, Ren might as well go through his equipment for the second time. You can't be too careful with it.
Especially since so many parts of it are explosives. Oh, Haley. So you're fading your, okay. You're not 100% sure if you did that prayer properly, and we are subtracting 5 from your quantity of reagents, however you pronounce it. So you're at 9 total now. Except Blessing Ammo has a modifier to it, which causes a kind of a cusp there for you. So you're going to have to wait to see what happens exactly with that flamer ammo, whether it's blessed or not.
Bobo will use it and go up in flames.
No, well, unless he's got more corruption points than we know. Even if, like, it's not the critical fail. If Haley had kept the 96, yeah, maybe then it would be, you know, not so much sanctified as cursed. But with the reroll, it's not going to go bad. It just might not go as good as one hopes. Okay, it's a little more corruption than I thought you had, but still, it's not enough to ruin your day. But yeah, so it was just going to be Shelby reminding Talia to requisition some gear. It's a very good idea. And Talia is going to ensure that she's basically got basic guard gear. So the las pistol, las gun, and flak armor for herself. Moving back. Right. Okay. So actually, I would assume she would have returned that when they got back to base. So. You were catching something else there. Yeah, was there anything else anybody wanted to declare before we fast forward? I'll take the silence as a no. So, yeah. No to the no, or what? What?
Sorry.
Son of a bitch.
I think we're ready.
Okay, well, then come the time that a lot of the guardsmen in the base are kind of getting anxious, and some of them are even foolishly abandoning their posts to go look out at the harbor to the north as a small fleet of ships carrying many soldiers and tanks are coming into view. They were kind of on the horizon for a while, but since you guys are kind of low down close to the water, only people on the watchtowers and the roof could really see far enough away. So now it's something that pretty much any grunt standing outside can actually witness, and it's kind of a mixed bag for morale. A lot of them are happy that there seems to be reinforcements coming in. Most of those are, soldiers who were part of the second wave of PDF. Though the veterans, if you could call them that, to this outpost are a little concerned because last time that the Imperial Guard brought armor in to assist, they went renegade and killed hundreds of their own and hundreds of the PDF. So, yeah, the rest of the PDF force are not entirely super duper eager about this, but they doesn't seem like, is anybody keeping their ear close to the ground? Anyone keeping, paying attention to the grunting of the grunts?
I expect I'll be outside, so I won't exactly be ignoring them.
Okay, so give me a scrutiny roll for those of you who are paying attention to the soldiers. Oh my goodness.
Wow, Tyrion is failing at what I thought Tyrion is good at.
Okay, so Krios, I think, is our most likely candidate, except I don't think he's trained. Oh, he is trained in scrutiny. Well, fuck off then. Yeah, Krios, there's a bit of grumbling that you can overhear with some of the soldiers outside saying, this better not turn out the way the last one did. Those Imperial Guard cunts can't be trusted. Just look what happened last time. I'm keeping my gun close to me just in case one of them tries to kill me. Stuff like that.
Ungrateful little shits.
And that's the extent to what he says?
For now.
It's a good thing the commissar didn't hear this.
Well, yeah, actually, I guess I should roll for the commissar, shouldn't I? Good news, everyone! So, yeah, in come the tanks. And so, just as ordered, we've got quite a little, I don't know what word to use, battalion? Does that sound right?
Okay.
Okay. And they come roaring in, and, there's a lot of PDF soldiers who are quite excited about this, and give little cheers and whatnot of, woo, woo, yeah, yeah. And the tanks will basically assemble out front. Now, there's not enough room on the map for me to do that, so what the hell, just throw them out here for now. And the other platoons, and there will be a slight shift as these guys are moved to Gladys. And that should be everything ready. Last minute before deployment, decisions, plans?
Definitely have the pre-recorded speech playing.
At last. Okay. Now, I haven't got the script for that, I'm afraid, but as I recall, you did very well on your rolls. So I think you need to use fate point, though, but there will be the inspirational words of what is Alexandra's rank?
Oh God, I had it written down. Let's see if I can find it. Problem is, I only freaking know Army and Marine. I don't know naval ranks that well. Let's see. There's the ship message.
It's not a big hairy deal.
Maybe, if this sounds wrong, maybe lieutenant, I think? I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure exactly the rank of that on a ship compared to the Army.
Okay, well, not a big hairy deal, as I said, but yeah, your words will inspire the troops, and there will be much cheering, and people are basically ready to go. And then the Captain Bedsim will come up over the PA system as well, and will announce those of you who received your orders know what to do. So let's gear up and roll out. The Emperor is watching us, and we will prevail. And away the forces will be deployed. So I'm just going to...
I don't think now is a good time to be playing Flight of the Valkyries.
Well, your Valkyrie will be flying eventually, but...
No, this is the perfect time.
I'm trying to remember. I think actually... crap, there was supposed to be another vehicle that's taking the east route. Was it a Hydra or a Hellhound?
We didn't have any Hydras, and they didn't have any Hellhounds.
Sorry, what?
Oh, sorry, you weren't sure. Ignore me. I'm just shut up.
I'm saying to deploy to the east, I thought I was going to send 3 vehicles, but I can't seem to recall exactly. So somebody roll 1d2. A 1 will be a Hydra, a 2 will be a Hellhound. Oh, holy shit, you're right. I don't know why. How did I screw that up? All this time, yes. They should have been Medusas. Yet I actually deployed Hydras. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious.
You could still run with it and just roll to see if it was a clerical error or not.
Fuck that. I want some tanks that are going to work.
Right, that's why it was so weird last week when I was trying to figure out why did I send Hydras? Why the fuck did I send Hydras? They were meant to be Medusas. The token are still Hydra tokens, but I'm not going to go fixing them all right now. I just went ahead and changed all their names to Medusa. And so if that's the case, it's going to be 2 Hellhounds for sure, because the Medusa's function, they need them going front and center, basically. Okay, that makes much more sense. Thank you, Bob, for reminding me. Now for the other part, I'm basically just going to go down the line here. Brooke, you get to roll the first general combat roll.
Am I supposed to be excited about that?
Sorry, you're really far away from the microphone.
Where did it go? Am I supposed to be excited about that?
Just give me your 1d100 to see. Oh, shit. That's a lot of feedback.
Oh, where were those rolls when I needed to... That roll when I needed to scrutinize someone?
Okay. Oh, fucking Christ. Okay. Basically, as the tanks are rolling, the ones heading to the east come across no issues. The ones going to the south, there is the riot going on, but the rear guard basically, well, each vehicle is being escorted, so the platoons escorting will keep the riot away from the vehicles. Although, where are you guys during this? Are you going to be waiting in the command center, waiting at the launch pad? Where are you guys going to be spending your time during the initial... So Shelby wants to be near the plane.
I would suggest the team stay by the Valkyrie, not necessarily in it, but ready to jump in, with a direct link to the command room.
That was my idea as well, to be, you know, somewhere we can somewhat look over how's the fight going.
Okay. Haley, you're going too or not? Are you going to the Valkyrie, or are you doing something else? Okay. And
interest. This might not be terribly relevant. How far away is the front line to where the Valkyrie is?
Oh, okay. The present front line...
More than 2.5 kilometers?
At the moment, just under 2 kilometers from where the tanks presently are. Where the tanks are going to hopefully be engaging in heavy fire, 4.5 kilometers.
Oh, you got my hopes up. I thought you could join in. Because my last cannon's range about 2.5 kilometers.
Oh, right. You wanted to just stand up on the roof and go pew, pew, pew.
I was giving some supporting fucking fire.
All right. Well, if you ever want to know, this map is to scale. So if you grab the ruler tool, the measure distance along path under interface tools, interaction tools. You just measure with one of those.
Right.
But
So how long was the way to the front line?
Well,
Just
enemies, we still don't have 100% certainty of where the enemies are. Closest enemy I'm going to hint at is within 4 and 5 kilometers. Furthest enemy is, close to, between 7.5 to 10 kilometers.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
thinking, could I just, if I could shoot with my missile launcher? Not that I
You'd
would.
be firing
because I have-
blind.
Yeah. I was just wondering, could the missile reach it? Nope. Not a chance.
Well, depending on the arc of fire, scientifically speaking, I'm pretty sure if you shot it right, you could make it, but your chances are so infinitesimally small, it would have to be some kind of guided weapon, and even then, your chances are still not so good because you don't know where you'd be guiding it to.
Indeed.
Indeed. Trying to find the appropriate gas mask for the medic. So, well, that one's perfect because it's actually a biohazard gas mask. Yeah, I'm just giving gas masks to all the grunts. So, and one last gunner. We'll have the same as the other gunners. There we go. They're all ready to deploy. Hooray!
Wait, we're honestly taking more people than what can comfortably and safely fit?
Yes, because Krios volunteered to stand.
Well, okay then.
So yeah, as I was saying,
Stand too. It's not a
Okay.
problem for Fern.
yeah, except I think it'd be safer for everyone else if Vern was seated.
Yes, I didn't say that wasn't the problem.
So Shelby wants to be the first out of the Valkyrie. Both Talia and the gunners are going to suggest that maybe she sits back a ways, considering what she's wearing, her size, and by the looks of it, she's a little girl. And Talia will not say it like, excuse me, she won't use any of those points, but she will say, these guys are frontline gunners. This is their duty to go in first. Put it this way, Shelby, you stay right next to Talia. That sounds like a good plan, right? Okay, is Shelby noting that with her data slate psychic speech or just in her own little head? Okay. Don't need her stirring that shit up right now. So yeah, at the moment, you guys give me some awareness rules from the rooftop. And let's see here. Shelby can see out to 4 kilometers. Lynn out. Well, Lynn's not there. Turn 4. Alex 3. So yeah, you guys can see out a minimum of 3 kilometers from where you are.
Krios can't see shit.
I don't see shit.
Yeah, from what you guys can see, the tanks are just rolling through. You can just sort of see, the hints of them between buildings as they pop in and out of vision.
BT, that's 4 degrees of success for me. Just FYI.
Tyrion,
Or no,
you've got
it's 3.
yeah,
It's 3.
Tyrion, Tyrion, you have a much better idea of where the vehicles are. You can't see any signs of any combat yet, though. There hasn't been any explosions or any signs of any form of combat. There hasn't been any shouting, not that you'd be able to hear it from this distance very easily, but you can still kind of hear the rumble of those tanks in the distance.
Well, guys, they haven't met any resistance yet.
I think, Alexandra, you'd also know the basics of that, too. I think your awareness is decent.
It is perception, which is 28 because of my issues right now.
Penalty, right.
Yeah.
So you're just shy of where it would have been. All right, I can seriously hear. I can hear myself over someone else's mic. Now that fixed it. Nope, or maybe not. Okay, and it's gone again. Okay, all right, so it's good now. Oh, Joe needs a moment to split the recording. Okay.